Don't miss the tea. Subscribe now.
Girl, you better sit down and pour yourself a massive glass of wine, maybe the whole bottle, because the tea I am about to spill is piping hot, toxic, and quite frankly, humiliating. I feel like I'm losing my absolute mind, and I need you to tell me if I'm the crazy one here or if I'm actually living in a twisted psychological thriller. You know who I'm talking about. Him, the one I've known since we were literally children. We're talking 19 years of history, babe. 19 years. We knew each other in middle school, we survived high school, we got through college, and somehow the universe decided to dump us both in the same city for work. It felt like fate, right? Like one of those slow-burn rom-coms where the two best friends finally realize they're soulmates. We were best friends for 4 years in this city. 4 years of platonic intimacy, trust, and being each other's person. So naturally, when we finally decided to cross that line and start dating 3 years ago, I thought, this is it. I thought I was safe. I thought because we had that foundation, he would never hurt me. God, I was so stupid. Here is where it gets messy. Before we even had our first official date, there was this girl. Let's call her the employee, because that's exactly what she was, his subordinate. He had a massive crush on her back when we were just friends. It was painful to watch, honestly. She had a boyfriend, so technically nothing happened, but she knew he liked her. And girl, she milked it. She used him for favors, flirted with him to get what she wanted, and kept him on this little leash. It was pathetic. So the moment he asked me to be his girlfriend, I looked him dead in the eye and asked, "Do you still have feelings for her?" I needed to know. I wasn't about to be a placeholder. He looked right back at me and swore he didn't. He promised me that was in the past. And because he was my best friend, I believed him. Why would he lie to me? Fast forward to us actually dating. You would think, out of respect for me, the dynamic with Miss Employee would change, right? Wrong. If anything, she ramped it up. She became even more flirtatious. She was texting him constantly, and I don't mean, "Hey boss, here's the report." I mean late-night texts, weekends, talking about random life stuff that had absolutely zero to do with work. I told him straight up, "This makes me uncomfortable. You are her boss and you are my boyfriend. This is inappropriate." And what did he do? He gaslit the hell out of me. We got into so many fights. He would roll his eyes and tell me I was overreacting, that I was being insecure, and that that's just how she talks to everyone. Can you believe that? As if her being overly familiar with everyone makes it okay to disrespect our relationship. Eventually, after I basically had to beg for basic respect, he agreed to some boundaries. He said he wouldn't respond to her outside work hours and removed her from his social media. His texts became dry and neutral, but she didn't stop. She kept pushing. It was like she sensed he was pulling away and couldn't handle losing her orbiter. It got to the point where I asked him to fire her. I know, that sounds extreme, but the boundaries were non-existent on her end. He talked to his business partner, and they both decided, get this, that I was overreacting and it couldn't be done. Men protecting men, am I right? So I compromised. I said, "Fine, transfer her to work from home, just get her out of your face every day." He promised he would. He looked me in the face and said yes. Then, a few days later, he came back with his tail between his legs saying he couldn't do it. Then the other shoe dropped. She broke up with her boyfriend. My alarm bells were ringing so loud I'm surprised my ears didn't bleed. I told him, "You need to sit her down right now and set strict, professional boundaries. No blurred lines." And do you know what he did? He laughed. He literally laughed in my face and called me ridiculous. He made me feel like a controlling psycho for wanting my boyfriend not to entertain the girl he used to be in love with. I felt so small, so neglected, and so unheard. So I did the only thing I could do. I broke up with him, I walked away, but I'm weak. A week later, the silence was killing me. I started second-guessing myself. I thought maybe I was crazy, maybe I pushed too hard, so I reached out, I asked to get back together. He agreed immediately, but I had this nagging feeling. I asked him, "Did anything happen with her while we were broken up?" He promised, that nothing happened. I asked to see their texts. He showed me and they were surprisingly short. Too short. Later that night, while he was asleep, the FBI agent in me took over. I took his phone. I went to the recently deleted folder. Girl, I almost threw up. I recovered the messages. Less than 24 hours after I broke up with him, less than a day. He was in her DMs, flirting, heavy flirting. He was talking about her lips, her eyes, complimenting her body. While I was at home crying over him, he was drooling over the girl he told me not to worry about. I woke him up, confronted him with the receipts, and dumped him again. I was done, or so I thought. A month goes by, I'm trying to heal. He comes crawling back. And this time he's pulling out the big guns. He's crying, saying he realized he can't live without me. He starts talking about marriage. He wants us to get married now. I looked at him and said, I need to know, did you see anyone while we were broken up this last month? Because if you did, especially her, I am not doing this. He looked me in the eyes, grabbed my hands, and swore on his mother's life, his own mother, that he didn't see anyone. He was so convincing. I brought up the employee again. He said, if she still makes you uncomfortable, I'll fire her. It'll take a few months for logistics, but I'll do it. I said, okay. I took him back, again. Clown makeup applied. For 2 months, it was like a dream. We were happy. We started planning the wedding. We were looking at venues, guest lists, the whole 9 yards. But you know that feeling in your gut, that intuition that screams even when everything looks quiet? I couldn't shake it. I kept making little comments. I'd say, you know, marriages built on lies always crumble. If there's anything you haven't told me, tell me now before we book a venue. I must have spooked him, or maybe the guilt finally ate him alive. Eventually, he sat me down. The look on his face, I knew it was bad. He confessed. During that month we were broken up, the time he swore on his mother's life he was alone, he wasn't alone. He had taken the employee on dates, multiple dates, and not just dates. They had slept together. And here is the part that makes me want to scream until my lungs give out. They had unprotected sex. For a month. He slept with the girl he told me was just a friend. The girl he gaslit me about for a year, the girl who worked for him. He slept with her raw, lied to my face, swore on his mother's life, begged for me back, and then slept with me unprotected. He put my health at risk. He put my life at risk. He made me plan a wedding while he was harboring this disgusting secret. Suddenly, his willingness to fire her made sense. He wasn't firing her for me. He was firing her because he'd used her up and wanted to discard the evidence. He didn't care about me. He didn't care about her. He didn't care about his company. He only cared about whatever impulse he had in his pants at that moment. That confession didn't just break my heart, it shattered my reality. I broke up with him for the 3rd time. I felt like I was going to die from the betrayal. That was a 1.5 years ago. Since then, it has been a nightmare. He did end up firing her. And because toxic people love company, all their mutual friends and coworkers decided that I was the villain. They think I'm the jealous, controlling girlfriend who forced him to fire an innocent employee. They all hate me. I lost my reputation along with my relationship. But here is where I need you to slap some sense into me. For the last 1.5 years, he has been relentless. He has been begging me to get back together. He's on this massive apology tour. He's gone out of his way to take care of me, doing things for me, acting like the perfect partner I always wanted. He says he's learned his lesson. He says he understands boundaries now. He says he made the biggest mistake of his life, and he'll spend the rest of his days making it up to me. I haven't taken him back, but I can't let go. I feel completely broken. I'm depressed. I wake up every day feeling heavy. Part of me hates him with a fire that could burn this city down, but another part of me misses my best friend. I blame myself, too. I sit here thinking I knew he liked her before we started dating. I walked into this trap. Maybe this is my fault for trusting him. I'm so torn. He's been good for 18 months. But every time I look at him, I see the lies. I see him swearing on his mom. I see him texting her about her lips. I'm terrified that if I take him back fully, the second another cute employee walks through the door, it's going to be the same story all over again. But I'm also terrified that I'm throwing away 19 years of history over a mistake he swears he's fixed. Tell me honestly, am I an idiot for even considering this? Because I feel like I'm drowning, and he's the only one throwing me a rope, but he's also the one who pushed me off the boat. What do I do?